What about other elements of hacking, the DNC, the Russian hacking element as well? Also, immigration laws. These are two key topics that have taken tech's imagination in particular.
So immigration, big topic for Senator Jeff Sessions. You have to remember he was one of the first senators to endorse Donald Trump on the campaign trail at a time, quite frankly, when many people were wondering who exactly was going to endorse him and if he had any support in Congress. One of his former top advisors is Stephen Miller, who actually left Senator Sessions' office and was the architect behind some of the ultra-conservatives' immigration policies and went to the Trump campaign, and Trump now promoted him to senior policy advisor in Trump's incoming administration. Of course, I'm talking about Stephen Miller. So that's on immigration. But then on the issue of cyber hacking, he got a lot of questions on this, obviously with the intel report coming out last week about Russia's meddling into U.S. elections. And he said that if there was a hack from a foreign country, that the U.S. should not be afraid to retaliate. So that a clear point and a clear signal that this is someone who is going to work with the U.S. intelligence community. He's had decades of experience in Congress. He said that some of his close friends and some of the most trusted people that he views in Washington are members of the U.S. intel community. Candidly, he struck a much different tone than what we're used to hearing coming out of the president-elect's mouth.
And this is a confirmation hearing for Senator Sessions. He would be replacing Loretta Lynch, who actually we spoke to previously on this show. Attorney General previously did wade in quite significantly, if you cast your mind back to the elements of the San Bernardino shooting, Apple's role within all of that. Have a listen at what she said back then.
We're not against strong encryption. Our only concern is with warrant-proof encryption. And I think that companies are developing things every day. Technology has changed so much in the last 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, and we don't know what's on the horizon.
Access to encrypted data. This is something that will obviously rear potentially its ugly head once again. And how do you think someone like Jeff Sessions would respond to Silicon Valley?
Well, you know, he did not get any questions about Apple at today's confirmation hearings, but behind the scenes, the folks that I'm talking with here in Washington, particularly in business community circles as well as Republican circles, are pointing towards something that they would like to see take the opposite approach of what we saw in the Obama White House. You know, there has been a big debate here in Washington about whether or not regulators should have access to companies' data and whether or not they should be able to regulate. The business community's argument, of course, is why should we be handing over data to the White House when they can't necessarily protect it themselves? None of those questions came up. However, again, I go back to that first point where Senator Sessions said if a foreign country is attacking, and there's evidence of that, attacking in the cyber field, that he believes that the U.S. should use all of the tools at its disposal to retaliate against that.